I think I'm live. I'm hearing an echo, so I'm definitely live. Just mute that. I see myself on YouTube. I see myself on Twitch. Here we go. Welcome to Nintendo Dad's Podcast, episode 324, recorded on April 29th, 2021. I'm by myself today. Let's get things started. Greetings. Welcome to episode 324 of the Nintendo Dad's Podcast. Yeah, I am by myself today. There was not a lot of news. In fact, the majority of my notes was Pokemon Go stuff. Marty was busy, Justin was busy, Tim was busy. So they just said, if Jesse's up to it, let's let him do it by himself. Since it's mostly Pokemon anyway. I said, sure, let's try this. Thanks, Tony. Tony says in the chat, finally it's Jesse's time for the spotlight. And technically, Mecha, not a first. It's just a very rare occurrence. I have done solo shows before. It's probably been 200 episodes since I have. And because I'm also doing this solo, I also decided to live stream it to my Facebook page. We'll see what kind of type of comments I get from my friends there that I normally don't share the podcast on Facebook. We'll find out how this works. Excuse me. I'm going to have to remember to edit that out. What? I don't even know how long I'm going to... So, less than 3 minutes. Edit out stuff. For some reason, the Twitch chat also wasn't telling me the time, and they normally do. Let me refresh that. Okay, now it's got a time. Okay, so this might be a little choppy here and there, and I'm going to have to do a lot of edits, but we'll see how this goes. So let's start out with our news. And our news is brought to you all by you, the patrons, at patreon.com/NintendoDads for as little as $1 a month. You can participate in our Discord, vote on our topics, and for higher tiers, you can have higher Discord access, including access to our post and pre-shows, etc. Has there been... Yeah, Mecha asks, has there really been that much of a news drought? Kind of. Yeah, I kind of had to dig to the bottom of the barrel for what I did come up with. But the first thing I have is the Super Mario Party gets an update. This game was originally released in October 2018. Gets an update out of the blue 2.5 years after its release, to allow for online play for most of the game modes. There are 10 mini games that are incompatible, but still 70 out of the 80 probably is not bad. So there's been a lot of speculation on, what does this mean? This must mean something. This is the first time Nintendo's ever done this. And no new boards, just multiplayer, online multiplayer access to existing boards and most of the minigames. But this is not the first time Nintendo has done this. There's been a small game called Animal Crossing New Leaf that, like 3.5 years after it launched, got an update to support Amiibo. And then Nothing really happened to it from that. In the game itself, I think it had some integration with Pocket Camp, maybe. I don't remember. I never played Pocket Camp. Have I played it? No. I think I rented Mario Party before my family video went out of business, and I didn't like it. Of course, I was trying to play it single player, and that's not the way to play a Mario Party game. Thanks, Reed. And okay, so trying to think what to say. So Justin did record a voicemail so he can share his opinions on it. So I'll play that now.
Hey folks, what is going on? Justin Masson here with Nintendo Dads. Sorry I am not able to make it tonight. It's a little bit of a clip show almost. Well, let's be completely honest. It's Jesse and Pokemon. All Jesse, all Pokemon, all the time. And you know, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. So anyways, I want to talk to you this week about kind of some other Nintendo news that kicked off. And it was Mario Party updating 2.5 years later to have online. And I think this is actually kind of a really big, potentially a really big moment. Or it could just be Nintendo being completely quintessential Nintendo and just doing their own thing and not really caring. When you look at the sales numbers, Mario Party Online has sold over 10 million copies and continues to be in Nintendo's top, I think, 8, if not top 6, selling games of all times. And as we continue to look into like a second year of pandemic and potentially being locked at home, I think more and more we see companies looking for games to help connect individuals. And obviously Mario Kart was huge for that and that online infrastructure. And it's such a family-centric, easy to connect with game, Mario Kart is. And Mario Party really does that as well. And so if we can create virtual parties and virtual gatherings, I think it's such a fantastic opportunity. I think it's a really great pivot for Nintendo. And I think the very interesting thing for us to end up watching is in the coming months, as we look at not necessarily obviously these NPD numbers that are coming out right now or this quarter, but as we begin to kind of look into the next 6 months, does this update to being online give it a nice little kick, nice little boost? The other part of it that I think is kind of interesting, the other layer to it, is Nintendo has to have obviously put in resources to do this patch. It's not just a click of the fingers and obviously it's now enabled. Time, money, and resources were put in to being able to make this happen. So that's an interesting move. And would they do that just for if there's no return? Of course not. The other part of it is that I do think, as memory serves, Nintendo has kind of been vocal, and their president has been vocal in the past of saying we need to look for opportunities to monetize existing content and to kind of grow within the content that's already out there. And I think, maybe putting it online is the first step in Nintendo introducing kind of an ultimate strategy for it, right? It's interesting that Mario Party is not called Mario Party 9 or Mario Party 10. It's called Super Mario Party. And so moving away from this kind of seasonal updates or whatever, not seasonal updates, but kind of numbering, patterning or numbering scheme, titling is interesting because it's almost kind of like, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Right? It is kind of just one game for an entire legacy of a platform. I don't expect we're going to see another Super Smash Brothers on the Switch. I don't know if we'll see another Mario Party on the Switch, but rather can they use Mario Party and begin to actually put out DLC, right? So what if it is hey, we're going to roll in at $15, we got more people buying Mario Party. Now that it's online, by the way, here's $15 and you get, 2 extra characters, 2 extra boards, and 15 new mini games, right? I think that's an interesting model and they could end up doing that. Or they just added online support and that's it. And 2.5 years later, and that's just so the quintessential Nintendo thing to do. It's tough to say. But folks, let us know. We'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on this whole Mario Party update. Again, I think it was really interesting, but I'd love to see what they actually do with it, or if they're really just doing nothing and it's just the weirdest update and we're happy that it occurs. But yeah. All right. Thanks very much. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Jesse always does such a fantastic job keeping this place going. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Justin. So he threw out possible outcomes of what this might mean, what might happen in the future. I, for one, I don't think this means anything. I don't think that means that there's a sequel in the future. I don't think this means there's going to be DLC in the future, at least short-term future, for either of them. I just think it was someone's side project to throw in online on there, and they released it like the jump rope game last year. I don't think that was on their long range plan, or that they when they started designing the Switch in 2015, that they were going to have a jump rope game in 2020. That was completely not planned. That was just someone's side project. I think that's kind of what this ended up being too. Hope I'm wrong. I hope other people get what they want. Again, this isn't a game that I played, so it doesn't matter to me either way. So let us know what you think, and reply to comments or email, etc. Do I really think if it wasn't for the pandemic, this online feature wouldn't have happened? I didn't mean that this was a pandemic project. I think Nintendo has many side projects that are not games, and many of them we never see the light of day. This one just happens to be one that did. Pandemic or not, they're always doing weird things. They're not only making games. They're always R&Ding something, but whether it's hardware or software. The next item I have is Miitopia Demo is now playable. Marty had a lot of nice things to say about it on Twitter, saying if all you're doing is thinking it's an up-res version of the 3DS game, it's not. They did add things to it, at least visually. So again, I haven't tried this yet. I wasn't planning on buying the game, but since it's a demo, I will download it probably this weekend and give it a try if I have time. But also, just like Justin, Marty sent me a voicemail so he can share his thoughts as well. Here's what Marty said.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Marty here. Sorry I couldn't be on the show this week, but I wanted to pop in and drop a voicemail for just a minute and tell you about why you need to download the demo for Miitopia that is available right now on the Nintendo Switch. You can go to the eShop and download this right now. For all you fence sitters who are worrying about whether Miitopia is for you, this is the perfect opportunity for you to see why this quirky, irreverent RPG is something I feel is perfect for the Switch. There's been a ton of graphical and audio upgrades. There's been new things added to the game, and even this is one of the most expansive demos that I've ever played. I'm still putting time in on it. And all of your save files are going to be transferred over to the real game when it launches as well, which is a huge bonus. You can make your friends quirky characters. You can make the boss of the game somebody you don't like. In my case, it's a baby. I don't know why, because it was just there. I found it, and I thought this would be funny. But Miitopia is launching on May 21st, and I think it's one you need to keep your eye on, keep on your radar, and definitely go check out the Miitopia demo. I'm going to continue having fun with it, be posting some pictures on my personal and Nintendo Dad's account over the weekend on Twitter, so go check that out. Download Miitopia. You won't regret it. See you next week.
Mecha asked if it was possible to bring Miis from 3DS or Wii U to the Switch. I know I did it for my old Mii, but I forgot how I did it. I don't know if this game supports Amiibo. You probably did it through the Amiibo, like through Smash, because I know if you can save data on the Amiibo from the 3DS and Wii U versions, and then that could migrate to the 3DS, to the Switch. That's probably the only way to do it. But if it doesn't have Amiibo support, then that can't be done, and you're going to have to build everything from scratch. Again, I haven't played the demo yet. I'm not sure. Ninfrendo in the chat says it does support Amiibo, so maybe you can. You'll just have to try it. Download the demo and try it, and let us know. I'll probably have to try it as well, because I don't want to draw all of those Miis that I used before. If I can import them, gonna want to import them. I remember when I played the game originally, I think I had my son as one of the villains, and Roger was a character. I don't remember if he was a friend or if he was foe. Mecha says he's on it. Thanks. Let us know. So, I'll give the demo a try. I'm not yet sure if I want to go into the full game because I have other games coming up. In fact, one releases in 2.5 hours, and the other, and then there's more games coming out in May that I wanted to play. And Miitopia is not a small game. I think it'll still be like 30, 40, 50 hours, if I remember right. It's got substance to it. My next item, Fujifilm Instax Mini Link for Nintendo Switch and smartphone printer is available for pre-order on Amazon for $99.95. I think we talked about this last week. It kind of lets you take your whatever screenshots you've taken on the Switch or your smartphone, and I don't know if it's Bluetooth or USB or it's some way it prints it up. You can print out photos like an old Polaroid camera. When I first heard about this last week, I'm like, that's funny, but I'll pass. Now I'm kind of interested, and I put in a pre-order. It says it's supposed to release tomorrow, but it also said it was going to take 2 to 4 weeks to get here. So I don't know if it's shipping from China or what. But if I don't cancel my order soon, and I do receive the order, I'll probably make a video and put that on YouTube and talk about it on the show the following Thursday. There is a tweet on our Nintendo Dad's account that I put this afternoon, 3 or 4 o'clock Central Time. I don't remember exactly what time. So if you dig through our tweets for the last day, you'll find a link to it. One second. More things to cut out. Excuse me. Okay, fine. The last news item I have is the first game in the Jackbox Party Pack 8 has been revealed. It's a game called Job Job. The premise is you are going in for an interview, trying to get a job with the other players. I think the way the game is set up, the players will get prompts that they'll answer, and then all their answers will show up on the bottom of the screen, and then the interview questions start showing up, and you have to answer the interview questions using the words that were part of prompts from the previous round. So like refrigerator words, just scramble them all up to give an answer. So the Jackbox YouTube channel has a small video, like a 50-second video with a quick example demo of how the gameplay is. So that was announced. They didn't give an exact date, but they did say it'll be this fall, which is kind of what I expected because those have been an annual thing every fall since Jackpot Party Packs 3. Okay, that does it for the news. So now let's go through events. Okay, as I said, I have more Pokemon GO events than news in the notes, so let's get this started. The Luminous Legends X event will run from May 4th at 10 a.m. through May 17th at 8 p.m. local times. Spritzy, Swirlix, and Gumi will be making their Pokemon GO debuts. Other Dragon and Fairy types will have increased spawn rates in the wild, including Dratini, Ralts, Bagon, and Cottonee. Complete event-exclusive timed research to encounter Fairy-type Pokemon, including Spritzy and Swirlix, in addition to receiving Rainy Lure modules and other rewards. Rainy Lures are new items that can be attached to Pokestops to attract Pokemon that like rain, including Water-type, Bug-type, and Electric-type Pokemon. Gumi's first evolution, Sliggoo, can evolve into a Goodra when near a Pokestop with an active Rainy Lure in place, or can also evolve just under normal try that one again. Gumi's first evolution, Sliggoo, can evolve into a Goodra when near a Pokestop with an active Rainy Lure in place, or under normal conditions when it's raining outside. Xerneas will make his Pokemon Go debut in 5-star raids, with Yveltal being in 5-star raids starting on May 18th. May's Community Day will be featuring Swablu. May 15th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local times. At the end of the event, Mega Altaria will be in raids when the event completes. A lot of people are kind of upset by this, at least in my local community. They're not a fan of a Pokemon that needs 400 candies to evolve being part of a community day, especially when the bonus for playing does not include bonus candy. The bonus this month is incubators being 4 times as effective. So we'll see if they give you enough candies to evolve one or not. That for those who pay for the research of the research event, they normally do give you the highest evolution as a catch, so you at least get one natively like that, even if you can't evolve one. But you normally have to evolve one in order to get that far. So not sure what they'll do. It's been back when like Magikarp was Community Day, they didn't have the paid missions, so there was no guarantee that you'd even evolve into a Gyarados. Where these missions with the more current Community Days has been, they always give you enough candies to do the evolutions. Then finally, the Pokemon Go Fest 2021 dates have been revealed. It will be the weekend of July 17th and 18th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. And more details to come when that gets closer. Okay, next we'll go to what I've been playing. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to talk about is the Genki Shadowcast. I kickstarted that and got it several weeks ago, and forgot to talk about it 2 weeks ago, and forgot to talk about it last week. So I'm remembering to talk about it this time. I know there's a number of people in our community who also kickstarted it, and from what we've been talking about in our Discord, I think everyone has the same opinion. It's not a substitute for an Elgato. If that's what you were hoping for, if this isn't it. Again, it's only a $40 device, where Elgatos are like 200 or higher, depending on what resolution you want. It does support 720p 60 frames, but 1080p at 30 frames and 4K at 30 frames. I didn't even try to test it at 4K, but I tested it with my Switch, and there was also noticeable input lag. Not just because of the 30 frames a second, but just like going through multiple HDMI converters kind of adds latency with every chain. It kind of felt like that. Like I tried playing the original Mario Brothers, and it was not playable. It's something that if you're going to play something turn-based, then yeah, that'll work fine. Like when they plugged it as a way to play Switch using your laptop as a monitor, which can also do recording and streaming. And that's kind of true. They didn't plug this as an Elgato killer or substitute. So it's kind of like a last-ditch effort if you have no other way to connect a Switch to a screen this works, but it's just not great. But again, it's $40 compared to an Elgato $200. I'm not surprised. There's another piece of hardware I wanted to talk about that I got a review copy for, but their Kickstarter was originally scheduled to go live on April 17th. Didn't happen. Then they said it was going to go live on the 28th. I haven't seen it yet. I've been searching for it, so I'm not going to talk about it yet. Hopefully next week, if it's up, I'll talk about it. We'll find out. Chase Scott finally made it to a live show. Welcome. It's a solo show, but it's a live one. And my dog's barking. I hope my wife brings him in soon. Otherwise, it's going to be really annoying. Okay. I have two games I wanted to talk about. First one is, actually, they both came out last week. Well, actually, the first might have been 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. It's called Palindrome Syndrome Escape Room. You know, I'm normally not good at these escape room type of games, but I like to try to play them. And I was able to solve most of the puzzles on my own. I think I did go through a walkthrough for half a dozen of them. The whole game takes, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 hours to go through the first time through. I did eventually solve all the puzzles, either on my own or through a walkthrough. I won't spoil the ending, but I didn't like the ending. So, little warning. So, short game. I don't remember how much it costs. So that was Palindrome Syndrome. Then the last game is Picross S6. No surprise there. It's a game I'm liking. I probably have 80% of it done in less than a week. I, will likely get it finished up this weekend, and then which will free me up to put more time into the new Pokemon Snap, which is the game that comes out in 2.5 hours. Or maybe 1.5 hours now. So the downside about doing a solo show is there's no banter, no back and forth, and things go really quick. So the next thing we have is questions from our community with our community spotlight. And again, as I was saying, if there's no one to banter with, so some of these questions might not be very fun to do. So some of these I may even skip until next week. Some of them I may answer, but I'll leave it on the docket for next week so we can still talk about it with more people. See, Mecha Dragon asks, it says, we have the freedom to create your very own Nintendo Dads event. What skits would you do in the Direct? This one I think I'll wait until next week because I don't have that type of imagination. I don't have any answer for that. Hopefully the others do. So I'll hold off. I'll keep that here. Send it for next week. Zablanc from Dads After Dark. I'll answer this one, but still I'll keep it in the docket for next week. It's the year 2073 and you're on your deathbed. Due to planetary limitations, burial is not an option, only cremation. Also, urns no longer exist. What item in your collection do you want to house your incinerated remains? So I think this is a funny question. I actually asked him, where do you come up with these things? And apparently it was something that his wife asked him in a car ride or something. Anyway, so the answer I came up with was probably my pinball machine. Because it's, not it's a pretty rare item as it is. So what makes it more rare is to add my incinerated remains, I guess. I don't know. Apparently people are saying that the connection buffering. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Okay. Jesus Amada asks, I'm so glad that Nintendo has finally made some updates to Super Mario Party. It only took them 3 years. Working with online must be extremely difficult for Nintendo. I'm happy they're finally doing this for Super Mario Party. Does this mean that Nintendo will be opening the doors for DLC? Would it be more? I would be more than happy to throw Nintendo $20 for some extra boards. Maybe a handful of minigames. Heck, make it a subscription and they'll be there day one. My question, what other previous games do you think Nintendo could give updates to? More DLC? Could ARMS get more content? Would Mario Party 8 finally get more tracks? We aren't getting Mario Kart 9 anytime soon. What else could see updates? Have a great show. Again, I don't have much of the imagination, but I think, ARMS probably could get content in fighters at another arena. As you said, yeah. See, I don't even remember half the games that come out. I know Animal Crossing still getting updates, but not as often as they did. I know people are still wanting new content, but not sure how new content will work with that game, or just will it recycle last year's content? So yeah, I'm not having a. See, this is the type of question that banter would be useful to help get things going. So again, I'll keep this on here as well, and hopefully next week other people will have better answers. But again, I don't think Super Mario Party is going to have DLC. Sparky says, hope you're all keeping well and looking forward to the latest show. As a fellow busy Nintendo dad, I have moved away from the big epic 40-hour plus games, and now very happy and content to tackle the 4 to 5 hour games. Not 45-hour, 4 to 5 hour. Which I know if I enjoy, I'll finish. And it feels like there is less pressure on you. Currently, I'm really